The West was wild, just looking to be trained. In June 1884, Boss Fulton, a seasoned training maverick, rolled into Fort Worthington. Her wagon packed to the brim with books, articles, trinkets, and such. She was learned all right. The town folk had never seen the likes. She wasted no time getting to know the good folk. They all said the same thing. This town was in need of some good learning. It wouldn't be easy. They were scattered from this part to that. It'd be the devil to teach 'em all one by one. Rumor had it some months back, a man down south had invented a device that would broadcast learning to the masses. If it truly existed, she needed to get it. One evening, fortune was on her side. As she sat quietly contemplating her dilemma over a stiff shot of Crown whiskey, Mr. Felonious Delroy Pritchard sundered into the Billy Bob saloon, sashayed up beside her, and grinned wide. "Here you're aiming to bring some learning to these parts," he whispered. "Borrow this map from the town banker. Best to keep it out of sight if you don't want trouble." Boss Fulton stared wide-eyed at the tattered yellow parchment that lay before her. Her eyes slowly followed the terrain of the map till it ended at Lost Pines with just the letters LMS. She quickly grabbed the map from the bar, shoving it into her satchel. "Mercy," she exclaimed. "It does exist." Lost Pines was a good 45-day ride through hostile territories and scorching deserts. She knew the history of this place, knew it'd be hard, but she had a plan. She couldn't make it on her own. She needed a team, a damn good one. More driven than ever, she posted a notice in front of the General Pawn Store. "Wanted, volunteers for dangerous adventure. Must have integrity, honesty, and be willing to serve. See Boss Fulton at the saloon before noon tomorrow." She waited patiently, hoping, praying someone would answer her call. 10 till noon, no one had showed. She was leaving no matter. The town needed her, even if they didn't know it yet. High noon struck. As the town folk watched on, she loaded her wagon to embark on the hardest journey of her life. A shadow fell across her shoulder. She turned slowly. "You Boss Fulton?" the voice asked. "Why, yes, I am. Believe you have something that belongs to me." A hush fell over the crowd. Martin Polecat Haynes smiled a rattler's grin, then spit. "I've been running these parts for near on 15 years. You think I'm going to let some fancy-pants schoolteacher change all that?" "Stay out of my way," she said defiant, as she pushed past to her wagon. "These good folks are crying out for some learning, and I aim to bring it to them." Then she heard it, the click of a revolver. She froze. One more click, then bang, a shot rang out. The crowd cringed. Shaking, she peeped over her shoulder just in time to see one ornery cuss of a polecat hit the ground. The crowd cheered. "Heard you's needing some help," said a kind voice behind her. "True Grit Gray's at your service. I've worked in the pawn store for 5-some-odd years now. I could use me some adventure." And thus the journey begins.
So me and Boss left Fort Worthington around noon that day, in hopes of making it to CAUville by midsummer. Crossing El Rio Trinidad proved to be more trouble than we'd been expecting, so we didn't get into CAUville till a good piece past summertime. The town was a-jumping, celebrating its first big cattle drive.
Welcome. You must be Boss Fulton. News came a few weeks back y'all be heading our way. My name's Quick Draw Francois. Here's you looking for some learning. I think we can help you with that.
Well, that's mighty kind of you. We really got to take a load off these horses and restock our supplies. We got a real bad stretch coming up over Bandwidth Mountain and Satellite Desert.
Y'all say Satellite Desert? Well, Quick Draw, old Marshall Conley and me here would be much obliged to help you cross. Smokey Stranix is the name. Glad to make your acquaintance.
There we were, a motley group of travelers headed for a far-off destination, with nothing but a beat-up map to guide us, but the company was good. Quick Draw, Smokey, and Marshall Conley kept our spirits high with stories and trainings from their time in CAUville. We needed them good spirits, both kinds actually, to make it through the next leg of our journey.
But just then, in rode the stagecoach driver. He put himself twixt Fee Haney and them outlaws.
So on we went. According to our newfound guides, the Bandwidth Desert was no man's land, not fit for coyotes or armadillos, let alone a band of dusty travelers like ourselves. That's what made the next sight so surprising.
Looks like there's about 3 people messing around that campsite. Let's be careful in case there's trouble. Doggone wheel busted off before supper time last night. Do-Right and I have been working on it all night trying to get it fixed so we could leave early before the heat of the day set in, but between the two of us, we couldn't even budget. We're mighty glad you folks came along, I gotta say.
Y'all best bed down here for the night. Don't want those coyotes to get any ideas. This here's Nanny B, the best cook here in Texas.
Right, nice to make y'all's acquaintance.
So we settled in for a rest, knowing another hard leg of our journey would start new at sunrise.
Hey, Do-Right. If I ain't mistaken, ain't it about time for breakfast?
Do-Right in Kentucky, you boys get up and make a place for our guest. Hungry? Come and get your Hungry Jack.
Nanny B makes the best flapjacks around.
Our team had gotten bigger, and with Nanny B's cooking, so had our bellies. Fat and happy, our party headed out of Bandwidth Desert on our way to our next stop, Roddington. After we cleared away some wayward boulders at Satellite Pass, our trip into Roddington was fairly smooth. Now I hear tell Roddington is one tough town. A feller could get into some trouble in them parts.
Well, ain't this a sight for sore eyes? The Watering Hole Saloon. I sure am parched.
We don't like your crowd in these parts.
And stay out, you low-down, dirty desert rat. Well, what have we here? A bunch of good-for-nothing stinking like you need a shower. Get on in here. I'll get you a drink. This here's my saloon. They call me Mama Gebbles. But you better behave yourselves. Or Pistol here and Rosita, they'll take care of you.
That's right.
We enjoyed our drink and good conversation with Mama and her folks. We had kicked up some dust behind us, so we were a little trail weary. The hour was growing late, so we headed off to find a place to bed down.
You dirty, filthy varmint!
Bang, bang, bang was all we heard. We whipped around so fast it made our head spin.
That's the drunk Mama Gebbles threw out a week ago. He came back with his gang looking for a fight.
You sure all gave him what he was looking for. We sure could use some more guns coming with us to Lost Pines. How about y'all come with us?
Lost Pines? We're in!
We had a swell time in Roddington, but now we were on the final leg of our journey. The question kept coming into mind. Would we make it to Lost Pines before we starved or died of thirst?
I am so thirsty I can barely lift my head. Is that a mirage or is that Lost Pines? Come on, guys, just a few more steps. We can make it.